Hence my idea. We hire a nanny for a dedicated 10 hours a week to carve out time for the two of us to spend time together, go on dates, etc. Welcome again to my Tens and Tens of Friends. It is me, Teacher TJ, and today I will be reading a Reddit post, and it's titled, Am I the a-hole for having a different idea of childcare frequency than my wife? My wife and I are expecting our first child next week. We've been talking through our plans, etc. We're both white-collar professionals. She's going on leave for 12 weeks before returning full-time, 4 days a week. I work 5 days a week. Once she returns to work, we'll begin daycare 5 days a week, from morning till the end of the workday. This setup gives her 1 day a week that the child is at daycare, and she's able to relax, run errands, go to the gym, etc. With daycare ending at 5 each day, that means 100% of our time will also be spent in parent mode. We're both fully committed to giving the other partner time to pursue our hobbies and activities. Shout out to y'all for that, because a lot of times we just be only thinking of having a child and no longer having a life. So shout out to y'all for that. But currently, we don't have a plan to set aside time for us as a couple. Hence my idea. We hire a nanny for a dedicated 10 hours a week to carve out time for the two of us to spend time together, go on dates, etc. I think that is such a great idea, because what we're seeing lately is it's like that SpongeBob episode.
Anything.
I changed his diaper.
Yeah, once.
He's only this big. How many diapers can he possibly use? I'll make it up to you, buddy. I promise.
So, what's the plan for today?
I'll work straight through lunch so I can get home on time. You can take the night off, pal.
Great, so I'll see you at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. 12 o'clock, midnight.
Oh boy, that was some party. Oh, hey, SpongeBob. Hey, Junior. What? What?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, what a relief. For a second, I thought you were mad at me.
Does you can take the night off, bell. Ring a bell.
I don't need this.
What? Where do you think you're going?
I'm going back to work. He got in there with 2 coconuts.
So, this is work. By the way, you forgot your briefcase.
So this is the thanks I get for working over.
Patrick is living his best life, and he's like, I gotta go to work. But SpongeBob, he's losing it. He's trying to keep the house clean. He's cooking, cleaning, all of the things, taking care of the baby. The baby got so many diapers that need to be changed, and so on and so forth. But Patrick, it's like, well, I gotta go to work. I gotta go to work, and he leaves every day with his with his briefcase and his tie, and finally, SpongeBob finds out the whole time Patrick been next door at home watching TV, not really caring that SpongeBob, meanwhile, is at home with his baby, and it's hard. So to just know that somebody just right on top said, hey, all of the time that we're at work, the child is at daycare, because that's how life goes. The child is not at daycare, it's at home with us, which we want our baby, we love our baby, but what about us? What about our relationship? What about our hobbies and goals and whatever else we might sleep? Whatever you want to do with your time. I want all mothers, parents to know, fathers to know that you deserve time away from the child. Like, yes, we love our children, but everything cannot be about them. That's how you end up in the I regret having kids subreddit, and I really want everybody to not find their way to there. Not only hates the idea, but became offended. I even suggested calling it insane. Her position is she would never want to set aside that amount of time, or even half of that amount of time each week, to just spend time with me. We should be looking forward to family time. She believes if we need time for a date, we can get a babysitter a few times a month. But it says, I admit that perhaps 10 hours a week is too much, but even 5? If currently we're going to spend 100% of our time together responsible for another human being, wouldn't carving out 5% of the time for each other make sense? That's what I thought. But not for husband time, like Mr. Nasty time. What? I don't want that. Don't know one. Don't be out there getting sitters for a little bit of time, to extra time to sleep with your wife. I mean, now if we literally sleeping, then hey, I'll admit, because I could take a nap at any. No, I'm lying, but I can sleep 48 hours straight. Oh, it's raining. I could go to sleep right now. But anything outside of that, fall back. Man, watch out. I'll mention none of this had anything to do with the financial aspect of getting a nanny. Also, ironically enough, my wife herself was a nanny in her early 20s while in college, but apparently the couple she worked for never used her services outside of their typical work hours, but for rare babysitting occasions. The discussion went a lot worse than I would have hoped. AITAH. Angel Dawn says, I didn't take it that way either. Me either. But now that I am, I hate it. The last thing you want post baby is being touched. Like your new body grew this baby. It's so sore and now it's it is a food factory and diaper changing, baby rocking, sleep deprived robot. I can remember distinctly thinking none of my body belonged to me post childbirth, and it was really unsettling and disconnecting with reality. I hated it so much. I tried explaining it once and was told it was depressing. Yeah, it is. I can imagine if husband time became a he wants to have relations time in this scenario instead of just spending time together. Hey, honey, I got a babysitter so I can have sex with your sore, exhausted body. Aren't I great? Just no. Celesta Celesta says, oh God, I would have killed for a housekeeper, a personal chef, and even a driver. Stupid poverty prevented me from living the life I deserve. No, for real. Bumblebee Hot Trot says, for real, I had the same thought. That sounds like a chore. Humble Growth 1531 says, I have 4 small kids. I love my husband, but I choose sleep every time. We find connection in the little moments. Yeah. The smell next door says, oh yeah, I just realized what husband time is supposed to be. I sure hope not. Eleni Chick 474 says, hiring a nanny on top of daycare would be a lot of time your baby would be in the care of others. I am 100% pro daycare. My kid was in daycare for a time and loved spending time with my husband, but we relied on babysitters when needed, just like your wife suggested. If you have the disposable income to hire outside help, I would recommend a cleaning service or meal service, or someone to do the fold laundry. These are the tasks that take a lot of time, extra time, once you have a kid. That's a very good idea too, and true. Scrunchy_1 says, my thoughts exactly. 10 hours of housekeeping, laundry, cleaning, meal prep would go so much further. 10 hours of husband time honestly just sounds like another obligation to a new mom who just wants to sleep more than anything else. I didn't even think of like, really? Is that what husband time together was? I was picturing. Hey, I'm still growing. I was picturing because clearly her body is still sore, so I would just assume that it would be, that I just want to, I don't want my body put to use for that quite yet. But he did say, to do what they prefer to do. So hopefully he didn't mean
Mr. Nasty Time.
that husband time that way. I surely hope he didn't. Angel Dawns says, "Aw, thank you. Kids aren't the only things that make our lives meaningful or amazing. I didn't think I would get married or have kids. You never know how things will go. So I snuggled my nieces and nephews and basked in fun Aunt Glory for a while." I wish I would have. I need to stop saying that because I guess I'm kind of part of the regretful parents subreddit, but I don't regret my kids. But I do think like I wouldn't have mind being a rich auntie. I would not have mind being a rich auntie, but I don't mind being a mom. Um, the one that buys a drum You play too much. There are amazing things both sides of the kid divide. I have some no kids friends, and they travel and go to events whenever and wherever the wind takes them. They volunteer and save lives. They love their freedom, and I'd be lying if I didn't say once in a while I think, I could just go do blank. But scouts and soccers and yeah, the list goes on. I wouldn't change it, but I know plenty of people who wouldn't love it. And physical ad 184 1848 says, this gives me a lot of hope. Thank you for the thoughtful answer, honest answer. Physical at 1848 also says, I haven't had kids, still on the fence, but what you mentioned here is one of my biggest fears about it. I've heard the exact same thing from my best friend who had her first baby a year ago. Do these feelings ever go away, or how do you cope with that disconnect of feeling like your body is no longer yours? And Angel Dime replies, oh, it goes away. I didn't feel this way at all with my second, and I love the crud out of my first the whole time. We had some birth complications and then he was sick on and off for a while. I think it is just his shock and fear of how much this little life you love just depends on you. Like if you mess up or you let your guard down, then what will happen? I felt like I lost myself to it a bit, truthfully. Not depressed or anything, just like my volume got turned down. I couldn't be me and focus on the baby. I am sure lack of sleep doesn't help either because you're in survival mode and it's their survival you are worried about, not yours. Dang it. And when you do worry about your survival, it's only like in a sense that who gonna take care of them like me? So it's like I can't let nothing happen to me. And that was the last post reply to that post. Thank you so much for tuning in to my Tens to Tens of Friends. Bye for now.